Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the New Boston, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at a couple of ways to format strings. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is our program. We have our main sub and we're going to go ahead and type in there. So we're going to create a variable called myString. Now what we're going to do is we're going to prompt the user to enter in a string. So console.writeLine, please enter a string. Now we're just going to get whatever they entered and store it as my string. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ask them for a double value. So console.writeLine, please enter a decimal value. Now we're just going to get whatever they typed in and store it as a double. So dim my double as double, and it's going to be equal to whatever they type in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to format those strings. So we're just going to go ahead and do console.writeLine to give us some space. And now we're going to format our string inside of the arguments of console.writeLine. So console.writeLine, we're going to start by typing the string keyword, and then we're going to use a dot separator to see what kind of methods there are and what kind of subs there are available for us to use for string. So here's the format one that we want to use, and it says replaces one or more format items in a specified string with a string representation of a specified object. Now that may be a little confusing to you. You don't really have to pay attention to that description right now. Let's go ahead and type format, and we're going to have some arguments for this. Now the first argument is going to be enclosed in quotes, and this is what we're going to use to tell Visual Basic how to format our string. So we'll just start with a 0:n2 and go ahead and close your braces there, and then we're going to add a comma, and after the comma we're going to specify which string to format it, and we're going to use my double. So basically what this does is it takes my double, formats it, and converts it to a string. And you may be wondering what this means. Well, this means take all of the numbers on the left side of the period and show them, but only show 2 spaces to the left side of the period. So if they type a really long decimal number, it'll only show the first 2 decimal places. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple ways to format a string. So we'll just do console.writeLine, and we're just going to take their string, which is my string, and we're going to do .to_upper. And this is going to take their string and convert everything to uppercase. Now we can also do console.writeLine my string .to_lower. And now if we just add console.readLine to pause the program, let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. So it's going to ask us for a string, so we'll just type OnLiveGamer, and it asks us for a decimal value, so we'll just type a really long decimal value. And you can see that it formats the decimal value to 43.23. It takes our string and converts it all up to uppercase, and then it takes it and converts it to lowercase. Now I'll run this one more time to show you what happens when we convert something to a lowercase. So we'll enter an all caps string, and we'll enter a decimal value. And here you can see that it formats our decimal value, and it adds a comma right here just to make it look better. So 2342.23. And you can see here that it took our string and converted it all to uppercase, and since it already was uppercase, you don't see a change here. And you can see that it takes it and converts it all to lowercase. Now those are just a few simple ways to format strings and decimal numbers, and once you got that nailed down, go ahead and move on to the next tutorial, and thanks for watching.